With the government contracting, can you tell us a little bit about that?
They have a mandate to buy from us small business owners, and they buy everything. When I really leaned into the power of words, stuff started to really change. Things were really heavy. Business wasn't where I wanted it. I wasn't where I wanted to be.
Right. A lot of the reason why people don't do business is because they simply don't have money. And I'm sure even with government contracting too, you're gonna need $110,000 to fulfill this contract. So if they don't have it, what are they gonna do?
It's this mindset shift of knowing that thank you so much for having me here.
Let's roll.
And I firmly believe and lean into everything is possible because I'm just a regular person. I always wanted to be a psychologist. I knew I didn't really want to work for someone, but I didn't know what to do.
Right.
I didn't have a business plan. I kind of was like, I just need to pay off student loans. I need to figure out my life. And boom, I ended up at Patrick Air Force Base as an intern when I was in grad school. And I thought, I'm just gonna finish this, figure things out. I'll figure out the student loan thing. And next thing you know, I ended up in federal government contracting. And I landed my first contract, which was a little less than six figures when I was still in my 20s.
Wow. That's amazing. So with the government contracting, can you tell us a little bit about that, what that is and how, because when I hear government contracting first, before I knew you, I was like, okay, that sounds like a very, a wide variety of different things, right?
Yeah.
So can you give us what is that?
It is so true. I mean, for most, it's that thought of, oh, what is it? Why would they buy from me? Isn't there a bunch of red tape? And why would I want to do anything with the government? Is often what many are thinking. And I found the opposite to be the case, where it's really much easier than you ever thought. They have a mandate to buy from us small business owners or even an individual, and they buy everything.
Wow.
They buy podcast services, they buy video equipment, they buy training, they buy products and services. They also buy a ton of staffing. And we make the assumption that the TSA person is a government employee.
Right.
Chances are they are not. They are part of a contract. So there's opportunities around the world on the federal side and state and local.
Got it. So then you, as an individual, your job is to get in between the money, right, and then get your cut. And
Correct.
Cool.
So it's finding the opportunity, finding the person or business to fulfill it, invoice, you take your margin, and you continue on.
Wow, that's awesome. I know that takes, to go from not knowing anything about that to being successful like you've done. I know that takes a lot of horsepower, a lot of just figuring it out, right, and then intention, and then just focus, right? So
yes, a lot of intention, a lot of focus. And what I found was, especially of recent, the power of mindset and manifesting. Because the process is pretty much the same. So there's things that we can't change. But what can we change? We can change what we listen to, what we believe, what we say. And so when I really leaned into the power of words, stuff started to really change. Things were really heavy. Business wasn't where I wanted it. I wasn't where I wanted to be.
Right.
And that's what's led to the exponential growth since.
Wow, that's strong. Yeah, I fully believe in what you're talking about with the manifestation and stuff. Because you actually told me one time to write stuff down and have it in front of me and put it on the wall and have certain things written out, and then to look at it every single day and put attention on it and focus and grind towards those things. And that's been a big changer for me and my wife, a big game changer for us, because we've been able to take our company from literally 0 to 100K plus a month just from focus and just targets and writing it down and pushing. Obviously there's action behind it, right?
Right.
But having your focus every day locked in on those targets is so huge. So I 100% agree with that.
And I applaud you and your wife because you took the action, you put it out there, and you kept going back to it.
Yeah.
You know, I have a client, she said, that she was going to win a contract for $364,000 before the end of the year. Before you know it, she did. She ended up winning a contract for the state of New York for these tents for different sporting events. This is not her background. She's not well connected. But what did she do? She took action. She believed. She leaned into it. She applied the GovCon winner's way, and then she ended up winning. And that will continue. So for you, 100K now, but that's easily going to turn into 10 million a month.
Exactly.
Because you're going to continue, and the energy is going to keep being there, and what is supposed to happen is going to find you, and you're going to exponentially grow.
Boom. I love that. That's amazing. That's strong. That's a great story too. So like, I feel like there's this disconnect with people sometimes, right? Mm-hmm. And it is, okay, I want to do this. Like, this is the target. And they just write it down, like, okay, where is it? And part of like being a responsible human being and taking action and making something happen is the action behind the manifestation.
Yes.
It's the action behind, I want this. It's not, okay, I want to be a millionaire one day. Where is it? Like I have students that we take them from owning 0 properties, and we take them to having like a $5 to $10 million real estate portfolio. And that's kind of like our bread and butter. And they don't do it by just wondering where their money is. They do it by like writing down what they want and taking the next organic step every single day towards that target or that goal.
And that's powerful.
Yeah.
Because it's taking the steps.
Right.
You know, I have a student, she's actually a grandma. She's amazing. She's out in California. And she wanted to grow a construction business. And in my coaching program, in less than 3 months, she ended up winning a contract, sent videos, images. She was at the site, had the vest on, the hard hat, and everything. And she's in the process of getting second money of that agency wanting to do work with her. Why? Because she knew it was possible. Mm-hmm. She leaned into coaching. She took the action. She didn't just say, I don't really know what to do. I don't know what to go after. This is too hard. Because our society makes that easy. Yeah. Our society makes it where you can just doom scroll or check out or eat Oreos. And no disrespect to Oreos and to Nabisco or anyone else, but when we do those things, it's easier for us to be controlled and to lose sight of the goal. Yeah. Because the goal is the beginning. But it's that action, continuous action, and action when there's no reward. Right. And that's hard. It's like trying to lose weight and the scale doesn't move. Yeah. Yeah, your ability to keep going is like, it is the needle mover for me. So people will have success and they're like, here's like the little mechanics of how I got success. But there is this other not talked about point of success, which is it takes horsepower. It takes the power of the person to make the decision and follow through constantly, like how you're talking about how there's nothing to prove it, nothing to show your hard work, no results yet, and you keep going and you keep going in that one direction, and then eventually you start to get a little bit of momentum, and then it snowballs and it works. So that's like facts. I 100% agree with that. And then even what's even cooler on top of that is there's ways that people with no money can leverage other people's money and the bank's money and 0% interest funding and stuff like that to actually go all in one direction. And I'm sure you know that, like with government contracting, some people will probably need money to fulfill the contracts. They definitely need the money to fulfill the contracts, and many people don't necessarily have a plan for, okay, after I win, what am I going to do with the revenue? Right. I have a free Facebook group, and somebody recently posted, well, what do I do with my take? And I stated, well, you can reinvest it in your business. You can build a portfolio of real estate. You know, I believe, and please fact check me, y'all, but I believe one of the commons amongst those who are like decamillionaires, billionaires, is real estate. Yeah. And investing in real estate, whether you have 1 door, you have 100 doors, you have like 10,000 doors, it provides that ongoing revenue. And then once you get started using other people's money, using profits from government contracting or other businesses really helps. So then you're buffered, because that's what you're providing, Ray, is peace of mind.
Yeah, 100%. With that also, like, I think that it's really important to have like a good structure as well. So I'll give you an example. One thing that gives me peace of mind in the real estate game and stuff like that is having like everything done the right way, like a trust. Like, for instance, there are people that own real estate that don't have a trust. So what's going to happen if something happens to you, God forbid? You should never own your real estate in your name. You should have trust, and that will allow you to then scale and not, be personally liable for anything. Like, if you look up, like, Ray Butler doesn't own anything, but I'm the beneficiary of a trust that owns everything that I own. So it's really important, kind of like off your point there, like, to have peace of mind knowing that no matter what happens in life, like, everything's kind of set up the right way with the right umbrellas and stuff like that. And then another point with the real estate, like what you talked about, billionaires and multimillionaires, like, they all use real estate, a lot of them do, is because there's so many different things that real estate does for you. Like, you get the appreciation of the property, you get the depreciation for the taxes, so you're not paying taxes, so your net worth is going up, your tax liability is going down, you're getting a drip every single month, so you're getting cash flow. So there's just like so many different things, right, when it comes to actually investing. Because when I invest in something, I want to get paid to wait, and I also want to get paid in the long run. And that's the difference between buying gold and just holding it, or buying an asset that pays me every month, and then I get the long-term reward at the end anyways.
And what also is great is those skills also transfer over to government contracting, because, get this, military members, especially the Air Force, they need hotels.
Yeah.
They don't just go to Marriott.com.
No.
They don't. They go to small businesses like mine. And there are tons of opportunities to arbitrage hotel rooms.
Oh, that's cool.
There is a colleague of mine that has a huge $50 million plus contract providing housing for FEMA. So if a natural disaster happens and people need housing, usually a small business provides that housing.
Oh, that's cool.
Be it arbitraging hotel rooms, apartments, could be bringing in portables. And there are a ton of these opportunities, because there's thousands upon thousands of military members. And then unfortunately, there are natural events that occur. So there are those opportunities, and not just in the continental United States, but across the world.
Yeah.
There are opportunities to get involved in housing in the government contracting realm too.
That's cool. So you're kind of showing me basically like there's an infinite amount of opportunity to make money in government contracting.
There is.
Like, yeah, so it's like you can almost create money out of not thin air, but like basically, right? Just solve a quick problem, land the contract, boom, you got the deal. That's really cool.
Because most people don't want to go through the steps.
Yeah.
And I get that. In that, enhancements. It's easier to enhance instead of hip thrust.
Right.
Right? Is easier to enhance than to put in that time and effort. But when you have a formula, you can speed up that process and not get caught up in the paperwork, or I don't understand what this means, and what attachment do I look at, and how does funding work? Instead, it flows really, really smoothly. I worked with a woman who she had tried on her own. She got started, she got distracted, came back for more coaching, and that's when she was dedicated. So she had the mindset of being dedicated. She put out there to manifest that she was going to win. She was hyper-focused, and she followed the process. And then within just a few months, she ended up with 6 figures worth of government contracts.
Wow.
Because the process is there. It's a known process. It's just leaning into it. Because too often, fear creeps in. It always creeps in. Well, what do you mean I can use other people's money to buy property? I don't know. Something's off with that.
Yeah.
What do you mean I can have a contract with the government? Like, why would they have this with me? And then people will take this step to confirm. And then there's always that broke relative.
Oh, God.
Uncle, cousin, sister, whoever it is, God is with them too. But
Yeah.
goodness. Then there's this, I asked my relative who has no property, who has no idea about government contracting, has no idea what using other people's money means, but for some reason it supports the fear.
Yeah.
Instead of betting on themselves. And what you allow people to do is to bet on themselves. To go from nothing to having $1 million plus in real estate is phenomenal, Ray. It's phenomenal.
Yeah, 100%. And, a couple of things like I wanted to touch on was like, first of all, I applaud you for going from literally nothing to doing millions of dollars in government contracting. And by the way, the mechanics matter, but the person who did it was Kizzy Parks.
That's right.
It wasn't the mechanics. It was you made the decision, you followed through, and it happened. So I respect that. Another thing I wanted to touch on really quick is anybody can do this, just so you know. Like anybody can go, like for instance, I own 14 properties today, and they cash flow roughly $12,000 or $13,000 a month. And depending on if everyone pays on time and stuff, but that's why you got management. You don't worry about that stuff. But anyone can do it, right? So I had no money when I started. I had zero money. It was before I worked for a big influencer in real estate. Like I had no idea about real estate, about money, about other people's money, but it was the decision. It was the okay, I'm going to do this. And then following the next step and then not letting distractions like take me off the target. And now like move forward now, like I started at 19 and today like I'm paying my parents rent, like I'm providing them like a family, like a place to stay. And it's not like, it's no longer like a look at me. It's like, now how can I help my family around me? And how can I help the people around me do what I've done? And it's not even a lot. Like I haven't even done a lot, but I got started.
Right. You got started, and who doesn't want to do that?
Right.
Who doesn't want to help our parents? Who doesn't want to help a brother or a sister? Who doesn't want to do that?
Right.
And it's beautiful to be able to do that. And then it's like, look at where things are going to be and imagine where things are going to be in a year from now.
Right.
Because all that happens is more time goes by. So by taking the steps, you're going to see the fruit of the labor. But by taking 0 steps, then a person is just exactly where they were. It's just that a year's gone by, or 2 years, or 3 years, or a decade, and then, oh my goodness. So now is the time.
Yeah.
Now's the time to do something.
Right. I think you and I, we do something very similar, and we plain and simply help people take action to what they want to do. So it's not like we're not putting this idea in people's heads like, hey, try this. It's, hey, you want to do this. You've made the decision. Here's what you do. Like,
Right.
Here's how to do it. And we hold people accountable to do it. And then we empower people with no money to get money to then be able to do it.
And we also have the track record.
Yeah.
And that's what's really very, very, very important. I have a personal trainer who is a bodybuilder, professional bodybuilder, recently won 2 crowns, and I work out with her because she has a track record.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people who look the part, don't get me wrong, especially in Miami. A lot of people look the part. But just because you look the part doesn't mean you have the track record or you can teach. So by pairing with those who have the track record, who have the heart of a teacher, who has that energy and understands everything is possible, those are the differentiators. Because the action is, of course, super important, but also the coaches that you have there are also vital.
Right. 100%. I agree with that. And then you kind of mentioned like the family thing earlier. So like on that track record point, to kind of tie that together, some of the most dangerous advice I've ever gotten in my life was from loved ones.
Yes.
And to go off your second point, they didn't have a track record. It was just, hey, I watched a Robert Kiyosaki video, and now I'm going to give Ray advice about what he should do with his assets. Oh, and I've never bought one. You got to love the family, and you got to love people, but you also have to be very selective with the advice that you take in.
Right, you do, and they mean well. And you can express gratitude, however, you don't know about taking their advice, but that's why having a coach and a community is strong.
Yeah.
Because then you don't feel alone. You don't feel like, how do I relate? I can't talk to my husband, I can't talk to my wife, I can't talk to anyone. But when you're in a community, it's a safe space. It's comfortable to be able to have these type of conversations and to grow and to elevate instead of feeling like, oh, I guess I can't really talk about this here.
I agree. And having a community, by the way, in my opinion, is one of the most like chess moves that you can make in life. Like, you got to have people around you that are making moves, that are doing what you want to do, that can help you, that can sharpen you, that you can call. So like having a community, like I know you have a community now, and I think that no matter what, it's like one of the strongest moves you can make, because like even we have a community and people are doing deals all the time. They're getting funded all the time. We're helping people save hundreds and thousands of dollars of taxes. Like, people aren't paying taxes because they're buying real estate. And it's just like there's so many chess moves happening within communities. So I think that having a community and being in a community and going all in and being active and actually like participating is a major key point when it comes to actually going to the next level and moving forward in your goals and what you're looking to do.
It is. It's that importance of immersion.
Yeah.
You know, they talk about when you're trying to learn a language to be immersed. There's a person who I follow, and they recently moved to France because they really want to learn French. And then I had a really good friend of mine who I remember looking at her cell phone, and I was like, what's up with your cell phone? And she's like, oh, I changed everything to French. She's like, I'm learning French. So why not do the same when you're looking to grow your real estate portfolio?
Exactly.
Having deals achieved in a community is much faster and it's easier, opposed to I'm going to go look online or I'm going to check an email. Nobody wants to do any of that.
Yeah.
We want things simple and streamlined so we can elevate. So the power is definitely in the community and your expertise and the expertise of those in your community too.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. So like even like for our community, like we even do deals with our students. Like we help people like last minute questions like, hey, the broker said we need to do this, or the inspection came back, we need to do that. And so we help people in like real time. That's kind of why it's important as well. But what's really important is just to make sure that we basically just empower people to do what they want to do and be able to like overcome the obstacle of money. So like that's what we do with our students. Like a lot of the reason why people don't do business is because they simply don't have money. Like, damn, I need to buy this, I just don't have the money.
Right.
Well, when you can solve that problem, then the floodgates kind of open up. And I'm sure like even with government contracting too, like you're going to need $110,000 to fulfill this contract. You have to float it for probably a net 30, net 60.
Right.
So if they don't have it, what are they going to do? So it's kind of like the way we kind of look at it is there are people in today's world in 2025 that are stuck in a 9-to-5.
Right.
And they know deep down that there is more. Like there's literally more inside of them, but they just don't know how to access it, and they don't have the tools and they don't have the community to break out of what they feel like almost enslaved in like a system. And I was just talking to another guy like right before we did our podcast, Brandon Carter, and he was mentioning, he made a good point that the most dangerous position in life is the middle.
Yes.
And you either want to be dead broke or you want to make it and go all in and be very wealthy. The most dangerous point in life is that middle ground of being comfortable. And unfortunately, the 9-to-5 in today's world gives people the same like comfortability of like kings back in the day. Like you have to just go all in and break out and get uncomfortable to get to the next level. And that's kind of what we do, is we help people like get into the position financially with their whole legal structure and stuff like that. So it's just like a big empowerment play. So,
it is.
Yeah.
It is. It's this empowerment play, mindset shift of knowing that the middle will happen.
Yeah.
Some underestimate it. Maybe they've heard of it, but they don't realize this is going to happen. You're going to feel like you're going to want to quit. Mm-hmm. You're going to wonder, why isn't this happening even faster? You're going to wonder, why aren't my friends and family more supportive?
Yeah.
I thought they would be so proud of me. instead of realizing, which is the power of the coaching in the community, so you're aware that this is going to happen, that the middle does happen.
Yeah.
Family and friends love you, but when you represent what they didn't go after,
Yeah.
that's hard.
It's hard.
That's really hard for people to accept. But eventually they will.
Yeah.
They will eventually. And just know to keep going further and further and further, because it will pay off.
100%. I agree. And then like it's almost like when you achieve goals that others don't or wish they could, it's kind of like a make wrong to them, and you have to be okay with just knowing that that's going on, and treat them, be love, and show them love and be respectful, but know that there can be some weird energy sometimes, and you have to be able to spot that and have your good defense and be like, okay, it's good, but you can't be affected by other people's energy that go towards you whenever you're winning, because people love to take a winner down.
They do.
They love that.
All of the time. People love it. There's so many TV shows and shorts on it. And it's just being aware that you got to protect yourself.
Right.
And that's what a community does. That's what a coach does. That's what having that support does, is it protects you, because there's always going to be this outside noise. There's always going to be that. But being aware of how to protect yourself and keep going and going and going, that's what differentiates people.
Could you tell me a little bit about like your community and like what you do and like what is it, so like the audience can know, and then you can clip it up and show the whole world?
The most important community is my new manifesting method community. It is beautiful, because without focusing and harnessing the power of your mindset and manifesting, there is nothing.
Yeah.
There is nothing. There are people I've come across who have been very successful, whether they were a doctor, lawyer, they worked in the government, they're a retired military member. If the belief isn't there and the focus isn't there, that you can make what you want happen, then it's not going to happen.
Right.
Because then you're going to pick up all of these things that you believe support your view that you can't make it happen.
Yeah.
So this is a very beautiful community. It's a great time to get into the manifesting method community, because the sky is the limit as far as what we do. There's coaching, there's training, there's interaction, and we're just getting started. So now is the time to get involved and to check out content, of course, on YouTube. But now is the time to get involved, because you can never have a mindset that's too strong.
Yeah.
I've never heard that before. I've never heard someone say, like, your mind is too strong. Like you're too dedicated.
Yeah.
It's always the opposite. So why not? Why not work on strengthening that?
I love that. That's strong, because I mean, people in this space, they have to have a good community. Like even my community with the Vault Group, everybody in the community is, the average funded amount is $150,000 a person that they've been funded.
Amazing.
Yeah, so like everyone in there, like they're doing deals together. They're all getting funded. They're all finally in the position. Like we're talking about John, who's had a $60,000 salary for his whole life, now has $150,000 on a card, ready to go. So these guys are like working together, doing deals together, doing business, like ventures together, JVs and stuff like that. So these are people that are just like looking to go to the next level. And now they've been equipped with like the finances to actually do something. So now they're looking to just like achieve that investment or that business or whatever that is. Literally, like there's literally tens of millions of dollars of 0% interest funding within the community. So people can like make big plays. Like two people can meet, be like, hey, let's form a JV and go do this, or let's go buy this big piece of real estate, or let's go build a construction company or whatever that is. So
wow, I love that, especially building the construction company, coming together for shared goals.
yeah,
And the goals are to be better, to do more, to make a change. And it just takes that action. Being part of the community, seeking out assistance.
absolutely. Absolutely, I agree. It's bigger already now than I ever imagined it being, and it's gonna get bigger. So it's good. Let me ask you this, Kizzy. So like, we got the manifesting, right? We got the government contracting. What's the focus right now? If you were to go all in, like, do you want to blow up one or both, or like right now today? What is today?
So, okay, typically I am a both person.
Okay.
Like if I go out to eat or if I want to order something, I get both. Like it's very important to me.
Yeah.
It's like I don't just get one, I'm able to get all of them. So, with that, this is not a both situation right now.
Okay.
My goal in my direction is on helping people be the best, helping them take action, helping them make money, and it's largely through manifesting and mindset. So the focus, the extreme focus, will be shifted there. And there's still focus and attention on the government side because that's a piece. Government contracting is a very easy place to win contracts. I say it all the time, and I have tons of interviews on my YouTube channel to support what I'm going to say.
Yeah.
It is not hard to win a contract. It is not. It is not hard to win a government contract. But what is hard is the mindset piece, to do it again, to execute the contract, to believe that you deserve the contract. There was this contracting officer I was chatting with, and he said he contacted someone and said, "Congratulations, you were awarded the contract." And she said, "Well, I don't understand. Why?" He was like, "What do you mean, why?" Like,
It's wild.
she didn't want the win. So imagine you apply for funding.
Yeah.
You want to grow your portfolio. You get it, and then you're like, "Why did I get this?" Well, you have to believe that you are deserving of this
100%.
and run with it. So the manifesting and the mindset is where my energy and my being is at this point.
Cool. Well, I mean, here's the good news. Like, we're gonna have to wrap up here in a second because it looks like we're about to run out of time. But here's the good news. Like, I believe like that's a great direction, and life is meant to go big, and everyone that's watching this deserves to go all in on their goals and their dreams. And if money is like a problem, if money is a reason why they don't do it, that's the reason why they have to do it. Like, that is the main reason they need to go after their goals and their dreams. So there's literally people who are just existing, and there's people that are actually taking life and like creating something for themselves, their families. So everyone deserves it. Everyone needs to take action because their family deserves it, and everyone around them deserves it. So in my opinion, fear is the great indicator to go play in that direction and to not cower down, but to just bone up to it. And that's what we do. That's what we help people do. And that's what you do. So that's why you're on this podcast, is because, obviously we have a very similar goal in a very similar direction. And obviously you're using a different vehicle, but it's very similar. So we help people make the moves that they've already decided to make. So I appreciate you hopping on this podcast. And yeah, let's run this thing up, and I appreciate your time here.